1. Here we go. Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Learned Classics. This is episode number 3080 and Doubleshot number 2974. I got two very popular known DC superhero trades here. Well, in my opinion, this first one, people do know about this group, except that this particular series did get new printing as part of the DC Epic Showcase, the sister printing to the Marvel Epic Collection. So first up we have is the All-Star Comics Archives Volume 10, which is a little fun fact. This is actually the penultimate one to be released because the next one was the last one. It's been a while since I reviewed one of these. Yes. This contains issues 44 to 49 of All-Star Comics. As I say, it's penultimate one because this is basically like 6 issues right here. And, well, I'm assuming next one's probably the last one because that's kind of what it is. So, these issues were released period of December 1949. That's issue 44. And the final issue was released October, November of 1949. Roughly about a year worth of comics here. These are your stories for these issues. The Evil Star for Hollywood. Yeah, this is one where there's this guy called Evil Star, where he's like apparently like this evil czar, the czar of the Hollywood rackets, and well, the JSA brought in to deal with him, and also like a movie script, and finding out Evil Star is actually the guy who hired him. It's his assistant basically behind all this, which I thought was really cool. There's also the case of the Cosmic Criminals. Yeah, a little bit spaced up in this one. In case you're curious to who raised these issues, 44 is done by John. 44 and 45 is John Broome. And I think John Broome was mostly put the writer for these ones. 46, Adventure of the Invisible Band. Ghost of Billy the Kid. Yeah, this one is basically just the JSA versus apparently a revived Billy the Kid. The Strange Lives of Edmund Blake. And the Invasion of Fire People. Like 45, I love 44. It's an amazing issue. Battling the guy I know as Evil Star. I think this was this guy's debut appearance. Oh. Yeah, he's a one-shot character, but it's a fun story involving the JSA going to Hollywood. Really fun one. The Cosmic Criminals, basically just a guy who named Felix Edgar in Rocky Castle. And they go into a place called Civic City. You think, wait, Civic City apparently was the home of the JSA originally, but 47 was the debut of this place, but it was also featured in 45. This apparently was a JSA headquarters throughout a lot of the later stories for the JSA prior to the end of the Golden Age stuff for them. The Invisible Band. Oh, by the way, the lineup for these issues is quite interesting. For 44, the lineup of this issue is the Alfred Adam, the original Black Canary, Diana Drake Lance, Dr. Midnight, Jake Eric Flash, Alan Scott Green Lantern, Carter Hall Hawkman, and the original Earth 2 Wonder Woman. Yeah, they let retcon in like modern day. They try to have John Byrne retcon. Oh, this particular one was actually not Diana. It was actually her mom, and then later on got fixed. And 45, it's mostly the same lineup. But it's a lot of really cool issues here. But for 46, there is a story involving Johnny Peril. And his story is not in here. No, his stuff is not even printed in the trade paperback. Not really. So you could see at this point it's not entirely a big full reprint per se. Because, of course, basically he has a feature in the book. So yeah, you could say that these issues just print half the issue, but not the whole thing. Yeah, I might go back basically to do these stories here just to get them out of the way. So it's ain't just the JSA stories, these ones, because he apparently started joining the book with issue 42. He does skip 47. Yeah, there's no... He does not have one here. Oh, 47, Alprick gets a brand new costume. After having pretty much the same costume throughout the years, basically, he gets a brand new costume. Well, mostly put just a new helmet. It was later in the story, there was no mention of the reason why this was like this. So you can definitely see 47 if you hear this one. They say the reason why was actually explained in Also Comics, also Squad Name, it was actually not to Psychotron. Who apparently gave the Atom his powers. Yes. In 48, this is where the Johnny Peril comes back. The Strange Lives, Edmund Blake. Yeah, he's actually not the main villain of the story. He's actually just a supporting character. He's just a kid, basically, just teams has a little fun, a little adventure with the JSA. And then 49 is mostly put the Invasion of the Star People, which is simply them versus these aliens known as the Star People. And they appear for this one issue. Well, excuse me, they're known as the Fire People. Though they did technically return for America versus Justice Society, I think in a flashback. But yeah, great stories overall for this book. I would give this book a 10 out of 10. It's a shame, basically, like you have only one full story in this one that's in here, and that's 47, because there's no Johnny Peril in that one. Nope. There is not. So it's two Billy the Kids. One is William Boney, the one who was Billy the Kid. And there was also Hal Hamden, who claimed to be Billy the Kid. He debuted the story here, and I think he appeared also in America versus Justice Society, and that was it for him. So yeah, we're getting close. We're basically a little more done here with the JSA here. I might go back later on to do the Johnny Peril stories, just to basically because, well, I really want to fully review the Also Comics series. So yeah, the next up basically we have here is Superman: The Battle of Kandor. Yep, this is all about fairy stories involving Kandor. Now, I did look it up. So, the stories we printed here, now, some of them I'll be skipping over due to the fact that And the primary reason why some stories skip over because I've discussed these already. Now this book contains Action Comics 242, 245. Superman 158, 338. Superman Family 194. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 5369. Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane 21, 76, 78. World's Finest 143. And that's it. Excuse me. So, skipping the first two stories because I discussed these already, and I think it was in Showcase Superman Volume 1, along with skipping over 158, which is also reprinted, I think it was one of the year Showcase books, and World's Finest 143. And I'm also skipping over Superman Family 194 because I think I discussed it already in, I think it was like Adventures of Nightwing and Flamebird. Yes. So, the first story discussing here is Dolls of Doom, which actually that's not the actual title. It's called a different title, which of course I changed to something else here. It's called the Lois Lane doll, and this is just the opening story. This is the A story from Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane. Yeah. So this one basically, of course, it gets focused on Lois because, of course, it does. It just we have this little doll for Lois, where big little doll, and just a story about Lois dolls and this doll encountering the battle-singing Kandor. And it's a multi-part story. And it does not contain the entire issue in here. No. Backup story is about the battle between Super Lois and Super Lana. So yeah. The title they put in here is actually titled the first part, not the whole story itself. It's a really fun little issue. The Superman pal Jimmy Olsen story. This one is also one where this one just reprinted the A story of 3 stories. And this one's infamous because this is the issue where Jimmy Olsen becomes a Turtle Man. But that's not reprinted here. No, it's not. This is basically Jimmy Olsen's encounter with basically his first encounter with the whole Battle City Kandor, with the whole zoo thing. Him going here, have a lot of fun. And then you have Superman and Kandor. This one actually I discussed already in the Showcase book. I know it wasn't Volume 1 per se. I think it was Volume 2. Because I think it was, let's see. Wasn't Volume 1. I think it was it 3? No, it was actually Volume 4. That's where I discussed this one. Yep, it was Volume 4. So, don't need to worry about that one. So we're going straight to Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 68, which This one's another one where it just contains this is just reprinting the opening story for this one. And no, it was not reprinted. This is basically just a story where it just features Superman and Jimmy as Nightwing and Flamebird. I would have thought that this was collected in the Avengers of Nightwing and Flamebird, but it's not there. No, it's not. This is just a story of them becoming Nightwing and Flamebird for this one story. Where they fight some crime together. And it's just the opening story of the book. Yeah, it's the A story. Really fun story. Involving the Superman Revenge Squad. Which, the original Earth 1 version, which is basically just some aliens. Yeah. 143, skip over that because that was actually one of the showcase books. Next up is Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane. This actually is the first one actually to collect a full story. Yeah, this one's a full story. It's called Demon in the Bottle. And this whole thing is basically about a Kandorian who, member of the Super Emergency Squad, have a thing for Lois and Lana. Yep. About Myron from Par, and of course, basically, it's about Genie thing. It's a Genie story. It's definitely the standard you think for the Silver Age. And then you have Courtship, Kryptonian style. This is from Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 78. And unlike 76, where that were printed, that was the whole issue. Not in the case of 78. This actually is just the opening story. This is just the whole thing of like, oh, trying to court somebody Kryptonian style. Bring back the Genie from issue 76. Yep, he's back here. And Voltaire here, this actually would be his final appearance. Yeah, just a follow-up to basically issue 76. Or it's basically just a little fun story here. And then, of course, next comes the Avengers Superman story, issue 184, which was the fun fact. It was the final story that was a feature from Superman Family. And the next comes right after that issue. Then it's Superman 330. It is. Yeah, it's issue of Superman. I think it's 338, I think it is. Yeah, 338. Yeah, this actually is a full story. Yep, full story. You're thinking, really? Yeah, really. It's written. It's a full-length story, written by Lee Wee, artwork by Kurt Swan. Which I recently found out that the character Virgil Swan, who appeared on Smallville, played by the late awesome Christopher Reeve, was actually a nod to him. You're like, really? Yep, really. This is just an action-packed story that just happens to involve Superman with a robot suit, and we also have Brainiac in the story, Supergirl in her Bronze Age attire. Yeah, this is a Bronze Age story. Everything else is mostly all Silver Age, with the exception of Superman's family in this story. Because that's the thing with most of this book here. It's all classic Silver Age stories. Until we get to the last two. Because this is basically no more Silver Age goofiness here. So, entering the whole thing. Well, one of the stories, Lois accidentally knocks over the globe, one of these stories. I think it was this one. But lucky enough, basically, they had one person escape, but they were fixing the problem. We have Superman contacting Kandor. We also have celebrating 40th anniversary of Perry White. We also have, I think this is Morgan Edge. Yes, I believe this is Morgan Edge, who actually bought the Daily Planet. And fun fact, Morgan Edge is a creation of Jack McCain Kirby. Yep. Yes, he is. And the one that appeared in Simmons Power Jimmy Olsen, that was actually a clone. This is the real one. He debuted in Superman 244, and he was a recurring character in this book. He was technically the other boss for Clark Kent. Yep. Heavy recurring character. So 40 years working with paper. And I always got appreciated the fact that, despite the fact that Perry White doesn't like him very much, he at least appreciates the fact that, well, the whole investigating porting thing, that... Oh, I love the fact that you have a cake, basically, that's shaped like a typewriter, which is so nice. And please appreciate the fact, yes, maybe all global communications, he does appreciate Perry White's investigative journalism. And this is basically just to honor him. And of course, there's a shake happening. And then Brainiac shows up. Brainiac, of course, wearing still in his classic Silver Age look. Yeah, and then of course, basically like... And then Supergirl shows up, who, by the way, I don't think that Brainiac... I think Brainiac may have fought her a couple times in her own books, but this is actually the first time Superman and Supergirl teamed up and fight. And then, of course, we restore Kandor once again. And, of course, Laura seeing her parents, which is nice. Yeah. And, of course, they put it on a planet where they kind of restore Kandor. And that's it. Now, was this the final appearance of Battlestate Kandor at this point in time? Well, it was destroyed. Yep, it was destroyed in this issue. But it came back in later stuff. Apparently, this actually... Okay, so a little fun facts about this issue here. It was the 40th anniversary of Superman. Marv Wolfman suggested this story. So basically, they put the Battlestate Kandor on a planet known as Rockland. It's a planet basically that debuted in the story. And of course, basically, Superman and Supergirl told to leave because basically their job was done. The planet itself did appear a few times after this. Appear a couple issues of Supergirl and Legion of Superheroes. It did appear a few times even after this in Superman. It returned in Superman 370. So it's almost like they were trying to just get rid of the Battlestate Kandor. Eventually, of course, thing was restored to be a Battle City thanks to post-crisis, because apparently some people at DC Comics actually loved the Battlestate Kandor. At one point, the Battle City became basically a freaking planet. Yes, by the way, I give this book here a 10 out of 10. Yes, it became part of an integral storyline in the late 2000s that involved Superman and well, he had to leave Earth. And they also were all Kryptonians, except for Superman, were all banned from Earth by the order of the United Nations. Yeah. But good stories in here. I was really enjoying also reading the Bronze Age stuff for superheroes, because they had really good stories in the Bronze Age. It's a shame that the Bronze Age basically was as successful as basically like the Silver Age was. And like, in case you're curious though, why wasn't the Bronze Age for some superheroes basically not as good as they were in the Silver Age? And there was one reason why. Marketing. Yep, they just shoved these stories out there, and that's why DC is embarrassed by this time period. Eventually, of course, like, they were able to basically just pay tribute to it and have a lot of respect for it. Later on, they did. People who basically became writers probably have a lot of respect for the Bronze Age of comics. As a matter of fact, there's a classic Bronze Age story for Batman, which still canon After all these years, despite the fact it's a pre-crisis story, and that was a strange operation story, which basically debuted Dr. Phosphorus and Rupert Thorne. That story is still canon. Even the current continuity, that story is still canon. The Suffolk Silver Claw, as it's really shown up yet. It is interesting, though, the fact that they had the last Biosity Kandor story just bring in Brainiac, of course. Yes. Now, was the Brainiac story itself basically like the first time we actually saw the Biosity Kandor? Yes. So, it's kind of like this was the end of an era with basically the Biosity, and that's why they decided to basically just put it off to a side, because that's kind of what happened with it. And I think putting it on the planet called Rockland probably was a good idea. Mm-hmm. And little fun fact, it made its last appearance in Superman 414, which apparently took place just after during the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's gonna be very interesting to talk about that one when I get to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but love these books. Okay, so that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do this like button. Next up is, well, case closed. I'm going to do that next. Get that out of the way. Okay? Next video. Bye.